Hey everyone, Joe here. In this video, I want to show you how you can get this photo from this photo. Okay, now this is a photo I took a while back. I believe it was probably in Hong Kong. And well, it doesn't look all that great with basic colors and stuff. So I thought for this tutorial, I'll show you how we can use the color grading system in Adobe Lightroom. Correct a lot of these colors and get us a much better, more cinematic, or at least a more color-rich photo that is more pleasing for the eyes. Let's hop in here and get started. Okay, let's first take the photo that we're going to be editing and open it up in the Develop module. Okay, so here we go. Here's the image. Yeah, I believe this was in Hong Kong a while back, and it's been quite a few years, and it's a photo that I just really haven't did much with. So anyway, I thought now was a great time to actually get around to editing this photo. Now, one of the first things we need to do with any new image is to do the lens corrections. Now, for this particular one, I'm going to turn on Remove Chromatic Aberration, as well as Enable Profile Corrections. And for the keen-eyed of you, probably notice the lens profile did not come up. No worries. Let's go find Sigma on the list here. Now, this was taken with my Sigma 18 to 35 Art, and bam, as soon as I click on the Sigma, it then finds it. Wonderful. So that gets the lens corrections taken care of for us. Now, next step I want to do is do some cropping here. Now, I really like this image for a 16:9, so let's just kind of keep it in the center, but let's just choose 16:9, and bam, that's good enough. No need to move anything around. The people walking here, well, just happen to be almost in the lower part of the thirds anyway. Seems to work good enough for me. The van is right here on this side. Everything's in the corner of the building. Hey, close enough. And so that just looks good enough for me. I don't think we need to do any of the kind of moving around, any of the cropping, anything, because that just looks well enough for this image. And well, it's a tutorial. We're not here to make everything look perfect. It's just to kind of give you ideas what you can do on your own to help improve your own images. Okay, great. Now, once we got that done, let's do some detail work. Yeah, good old detail work. I am not going to use any of the AI stuff, denoising stuff. I find it sometimes works good, sometimes it doesn't work good. In this particular instance, if you notice, it is a little grainy. I forgot what ISO I shot this at, but I was probably shooting in handheld, and you can see there's a lot of rain, and that AI noise thing, it don't always work too well when there's rain involved. So let's manually do this. It's not a big deal at all. Okay, so I want to go down and start with the sharpening. By default, I'm going to leave sharpening at 40. However, I am going to change the radius up to about 1.2. I think that's what I had it as. And also remember, you can press the Alt key when moving the sliders to get a better idea. Let me zoom here. In the center of the image, I press Alt. As soon as I click on the radius here, as you can see, we move the radius up. You can see how it affects the sharpening. Say I want to be 1.2, just to kind of a little bit more than normal. Wonderful. Now the detail here. Let's pull up the detail here. Let's click on that one. And I really want to add details to this, so I'm going to slide it all the way up to 100. Yeah, that's going to add a lot of, looks like, grain and stuff to the image. We can work on that. Don't worry. We're going to mask a lot of that out anyway. So again, click on the Alt key. If you're on a PC, slide this over. And around 85 is what I had on the regular image. And just see, boom. All those areas in the white are getting sharpened, and all those black areas are not. As we can see, that worked out quite well. Now for the luminance here. The luminance, I pull that up to around 25. And, yep, around 25 on that. The detail on the luminance, I pull that on up quite a bit too, to 100. That really helps pull back a lot of the rain and stuff that might have got lost in the noise correction. And the contrast here, I'm going to pull that up to about 80 is what I had in the original image. So we can turn that on and off now, without, with. You can see that cleans it up quite nice without taking away, hardly any detail. And I quite like that. Now the color, the 25-50-50 by default, let's leave that as long. That's all we need right there on that one. And we can go up and get started on the rest of the image. All right, here. Got our global adjustments here. Now we're going to adjust the white balance here just a little bit. 4250 is what I was originally shot at. I'm going to pull that down to make the image just a little bit cooler, around 3800. If I can get it in there. Let me see if I can't slowly adjust it here better. If I get frustrated, I'll just do the good old thing and type in 3800 myself manually. And you can do that as well. Now the tint here, I believe the tint, I removed that completely. Yeah, just remove that. Right now it's at a +10 by default. I'm gonna pull it down to a 0, and let's get rid of that. All right, exposure, not going to change the exposure on the image. It exposed quite well. I am going to bump the contrast up on this image though, just a little +20. Let's see if we hear that help a little bit. Yeah, that's already working quite well. Now let's pull back some details. I am going to pull this down to -25 on the highlights, a +25 on the shadows. The whites here, I'm going to pull those down quite a bit, and that should help pull back a lot of that detail in the signs and stuff. Now this is going to make this a very flat looking image. But don't worry, we can correct that when we go to do local adjustments and do some dodging and burning to really bring back all the contrast without losing any of the detail. And the blacks here, I'm going to pull those up to 25. So in case anybody was wondering, the highlights -25, shadows a +25, the whites a -90, and the blacks a +25. Wonderful. Now, let's do work on our presence here. Now the texture, I pulled out quite a bit on this image. Let's pull that up to a +60. Yeah, I believe that was a +60. And clarity, a +10. And dehaze, a +25. And we are not changing any of the vibrance or saturation on this image. So let's turn off the basics here. That's the kind of before and after. It does bring back a lot of that detail and stuff. Now, if you think this is too harsh for you, you can actually lower the texture if you wish. You can make stuff extremely soft or bring it up just to wherever you feel like you like it. Me personally, I think I'm just going to leave it on 60. And that's what my original edit was. And I do that because I really like how it really accentuates the water and stuff on the streets here. That real rough texture on the streets. Okay. Now here we are on the color grading. By default, you're going to have the 3 here. I don't like using those, all together. I like to actually click on each one of them individually. And this kind of like zooms in on them. All right. We're not going to use the last one, the global one. We're just going to use the individuals for the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. Let's first start on the shadows here. Now, see here, there are multiple ways to change this. A lot of people want to get it, pull it around, and well, that's how you can do it. But if you want to fine tune your adjustments and stuff, you can actually change them here. But click on hue over the number, and you can change it. Now I'm going to pull this one to 215. That is the hue I wanted. And the saturation, I want to max that out at 100. Luminance here, we want to darken this now. So I'll pull this down to a -50. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for the midtones. So I'm going to pull that hue around to 215. And max that saturation out at 100. And you can see it brought a lot of the blues and stuff over into the midtones. But let's darken that down just a little bit here to about -50. Okay. Now let's add some warmth to the lights. And for that, we're going to use hue of 25. It's kind of a nice warmish orange. I can get it here dialed in. There we go. Yeah, it's a very nice, sun-kissed orange. And the saturation on that one going to go up to 75. Not all the way up to 100 again, just to 75. Okay. And the luminance, we are not changing on that one. Well, let's see what that does to the image, without it and with it. Now, I really like that because it makes a lot of the darker parts more cool looking, and one of the warmer parts, the brighter parts like the street lights, a little warmer without being too orange like it was in the original photo. So yes, I like that quite a bit. Alrighty. So now that we get that done, let's go do some post-crop vignetting. And on this one, we're just going to do a negative, actually quite heavy, negative 40 on this one. Yeah, that's going to really put your focus to the center of the image. And you're thinking, hey, that makes a lot of things look a little too dark. Don't worry, when we go to do the dodging and burning, it's really going to pull back a lot of those. All right. We are going to leave this on highlight priority in case anybody is wondering. The midpoint is going to leave that at 50. However, the roundness, we are going to drop that just a little bit, -5. And again, remember, you can press the Alt key and move these around and get a better eye of what's going on. So let's say the roundness, just a little bit more round, outer round, I guess you could say. -5 on that one. And let me see here. Did I do anything with the feather? Yeah, the feather I had it at 33. Let's see here. Boop, boop. There we go. 33. There we go. So without it and with it. And that really does focus you in, very much closer on the image. Wonderful. Now let's do our dodging and burning. Let's go ahead and click on our masking. Pulls up. Well, let's grab us a brush. Good old brush here. Okay, now we're going to first do our lights. And this is all the bright areas and stuff that we want brightened up. We'll do the streets. Lights under here. Street lights. Start with that one. Boom there. Make this a little bit smaller proportionally. Got these down here. Boop. Boop over there. Now let's feather this through here. Brighten through here, as well as the streak through here. And through here. Of course, through here. And you don't have to get the lines perfectly straight. You'll get there. Okay. This little doorway here, we'll get that. Right through here. And our sign up here. Let's go get this sign. Brighten that sign up. Boop, 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 boop. And there we go. And that should get those pretty good. Let's see if they've got everything the way I want it. Let's bump our exposure on that one. I had 1.75 is what I used to brighten it up. If I can't nail that in. 1.76 is pretty close. Close enough for the tutorial. You can see with that without it. With it. Yeah, like that a lot. Okay. Now let's add our next brush here. Create a new mask. Go to brush again. And let's do some burning. This is where we're going to darken in the other areas of the street stuff here. And this one we're pretty much going to do just the street here. This area through here. Area through here. And a little bit in here. In here. In here. And a little bit through here. And that is all we really did on that one. And then drop the exposure by 0.75. And wow, I got lucky and nailed it that time. So you can see without the mask, with the mask. Without and with. Now you can go in and also adjust these masks if you want to. You think that 1.75 is maybe a little too bright. You can lower it down and adjust it to where you think you like it the best. But like I said, this is a tutorial. You decide how your own photo should look. I'm just here to kind of give you a guiding light, I guess you could say. You decide how you want to, create your own content. So anyway, that's it for this video one. Hope you like it. If you did, how about give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, now's a great time to subscribe. Subscribing's free, it's for you, and lets you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.